all for coming out today. We're really excited to show off this newest project in our open space division, but we're going to hear from several different speakers today, but we're going to kick things off with Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller.
Thanks so much, and good morning. Welcome to this incredible space, the Tijeras Biozone ADA Sensory Trail opening. This is a one-of-a-kind project, at least in the metro. Maybe Carl can tell us if it's one-of-a-kind in the state or not. All right, one-of-a-kind in the entire state of New Mexico. And so we are so glad to have this here in the metro area. And I want to, I think, just talk about a couple of background pieces to this first. I do want to acknowledge, of course, many of us here may have family members who require ADA accessibility, also maybe dealing with different learning disabilities and things like this. My family's no exception. And we're always looking for places to go that are a better fit for our unique family members. And I know that led me to even like the park above in Rio Rancho, which is sort of a classic example. And also another thought which popped into my head, and once upon a time I talked to our parks director and I was like, why don't we have that in Albuquerque? And so he actually highlighted several things that we do have, by the way, which many of you know about. But that was the beginning of a seed that also said, like, why can't we have this in a natural setting? Sort of a version of all things sensory and accessible, but that isn't, prefabricated in plastic. Not that, that's always a bad thing. But the idea is, what is nature's version of that? That was the vision for this project. And thanks to a host of partners who've worked very hard on this, I think we have delivered on that vision for all New Mexicans. So what you have here is a trail that features all sorts of sensory stations and interpretive signage, and also strategic sort of elevation changes. And this all has to do with people who may be challenged with respect to balance, but also to different senses. And they may also enjoy particular senses more than others, like smell or touch, or even audible. That's why everything is dialed into wonderful computer apps that also are linked to each station that explain things to folks who maybe aren't as good visually, or also just learn better audibly. There's a whole sort of deep stack of things inside each one of these stations that are designed to inspire and empower folks who often don't have a place to go, or a place to go that is at least as impactful. And our team is going to walk through some of these, but I just want to highlight one that I love. The other thing is touching and teaching about different animals or insects that also rely particularly heavily on a particular sense. And so, especially for children, this is a way of sort of superhero powers explained through the animal kingdom that I know kids in general love, and especially sort of folks with special needs. And so I'm very excited to enjoy this facility, whether it's even with my own kids, my own family, but most importantly for all the families in New Mexico. There is a home for you outdoors now. And so it is much, much more than just ramps and rails and elevation control. This is about all five senses and how we can be, at least as best we can, accommodating and celebrating of each one of those senses individually. Now, this really is an example of partnership, because at a high level, what we did was buy this land. And that was a great thing. And so I'm glad council and us did that. And we knew it was the right thing to do. And we have a broader vision to connect this to the old Beavertown setup that we just opened last week. So this is going to be part of our whole Tijeras open space recreation area. That includes our soil and water district. It includes the Tijeras land grant folks. And of course, it also includes even the village of Tijeras. They have all been working on this together. That is a great thing. But this particular piece had a bunch of partners, including, of course, CIUDAD, the Soil and Water Conservation District, Heroes Path Palliative Care. Check out their amazing publication here. Nature Matters Academy. Give them a round of applause, too. And Talking Talons, another program my family's been a part of. And NM Volunteers Outdoors, who does so many great things. And of course, our city open space team and our open space advisory board. And so what I want to highlight, I think, just to close, is that we want folks to enjoy this. Now, as always, we can't have it open 24/7, so just as a reminder, you've kind of got between 2 and 6, right, Dave? 8 to 2. Sorry, the reverse. Nice when it's cool. So from 8 to 2 this summer, use this facility. Come check it out. And there's much more to come, and all of that is explained on all the different signage around you as well. So with more on this, the City Councilor was very supportive of this project. Councilor Grau.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all for being here today. I am just over the moon excited about this project. It is so wonderful to have this place 5 minutes from the city that everyone can enjoy. Doesn't matter what your hiking ability is, what you can do. Everyone is welcomed here, and everybody can enjoy it. And I want to thank all of the partners, all of the people that know the things that they need, and they were so instrumental in making it happen. And I look forward to seeing all of those folks use this place all the time. Last year, I met a man who had recently moved here from West Tennessee. And he said that our city's open spaces are one of the things that make Albuquerque a great place to live. We already knew that, but other people are discovering that as well. But I think that a lot of us do take it for granted that we do have the open space that we do. You see, other places across the country don't have these public open spaces. And this is here for all of us. We have over 30,000 open space acres that are public land for us to enjoy. We should never take that for granted. To see this, thank you. To see this place, this Tijeras Arroyo, come together and just develop it into a beautiful space for everybody to enjoy is something that I do not take for granted, and I will continue advocating for its creation, and so that we can all enjoy it. Next up, we're going to have the Education Center, and then to the west here, that's also going to get developed. But I want to thank everybody, especially the Open Space Division and the contractors that brought this place to life. I appreciate everything that you've done for us, the city of Albuquerque, the people that live here, and everybody, please enjoy it. You've got to go see it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Councilor. And now we want to bring up, I think, one of just a very unique individual in a sense of someone who really understands the connection between outdoor recreation, but also economic development and community development. And he's worked in this space throughout our state. He's a Tausueño, but he's also the planner for the New Mexico, for NMEDD, for outdoor recreation opportunities and projects. One, I love that our state has that job, first off. So that's awesome, very New Mexico. But we also have somebody amazing in it, Carl Colonias. Come on up.
So as Mayor Keller mentioned, my name's Carl Colonias. I'm the program manager for the Outdoor Rec Division, which is a division within the Economic Development Department. The Outdoor Rec Division was initiated in 2019, and our work is really around creating outdoor rec ecosystems in every community in New Mexico. And what that means to us is not just building trails, but making sure that the entire community feels invited, specifically underrepresented or uninvited segments of the population. We do that through our Outdoor Equity Fund, about $3 million a year going out to nonprofits to target underrepresented communities and bring young people out into the recreational sphere. We all know the benefits of outdoor recreation, mental health, physical health, the idea that there is some economic development through events or ecotourism, but really about building community in public space, super important. So we're happy to be involved in this project. We actually were able to invest through our Trail Plus grant program. So outdoor equity is who's playing, and Trails Plus is where and how people play. So in the last 5 years, we've invested over $30 million in strategic grant investments across the state, really trying to make sure that we're staying in front of the needs so that parking lots, trail signage, trail alignments, beautiful, creative systems like this are available to all New Mexicans. So very happy to be here. We love the ribbon cuttings, much more fun than compliance checks. We very much appreciate the partnership with CIUDAD Soil and Water Conservation District and the City of Albuquerque Open Space Division. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Carl. And as we talked about earlier, this is part of a soil and water conservation district. And, you know, I remember when I was state auditor, you have to audit all these forms of government. And I was like, what's a soil and water conservation district? So they are wonderful organizations that are all over our state. And we're fortunate to have one in this area who was also very helpful in this program, actually on a couple of fronts, also with respect to Heroes Path Palliative Care. So let's bring up Teresa Aragon to hear more.
All right, thank you. I'm Teresa Aragon. I'm with Heroes Path Palliative Care. Thank you. I'm also with Nature Matters Academy and CIUDAD Soil and Water Conservation District, so I've been lucky to see all different sides of this project that has been a lot of fun. Regretfully, the rest of my team wasn't able to make it because they're out of town, so I do want to first recognize kind of the founding members of where this all started. Jennifer Bartz with Heroes Path Palliative Care. She is the board president and founder. We have Dr. Jenny Lloyd-Strovis, and she's with Nature Matters Academy, founder there as well. And Astrid Mooney with CIUDAD Soil and Water Conservation District as well. She was the first project manager, kind of seeing it through with this project as well. So when it all started, I was saying 2 years. It's already been about 3 that we've been working on this. So thank you for your patience through all of the bumps there, Carl. It came out of a vision to bring our families a lot more accessibility to open spaces. We were taking our kids out into nature through the Outdoor Equity Fund, and we were noticing that they weren't actually able to get deep into nature without running into sandy areas, you know, blocked off areas, spaces that wheelchairs just couldn't access. So it started just needing more access for those kiddos with medical complexity and disabilities. We are working on that sound, by the way. If you can hear me, we are trying to plant some things. So we did want it to go beyond the parking. Jenny did want me to say a few words for her on behalf of Nature Matters Academy. So at Nature Matters Academy, our passion is connecting people with nature. We believe nature should be for everyone, which is why we're proud to celebrate the GEM Inclusive Sensory Trail. So accessible nature trails are rare in New Mexico and across the country. We hope that this also acts as a blueprint for others to jump on and expand the spaces. So we changed that here with this trail, creating a space where people of all abilities can connect with nature. From the start, we listened to the families. A few of our families are here, the experts, the OTs, the Thrive nurses, all provided, you know, their feedback, and educators to support them. And their voices shaped every step of this design. So along the trail, you're going to see at each of them, you're going to see 3 signs. So the important thing about that is the GEM framework. Grow, engage, and make connections. So children are invited to explore with their senses and learn about ecosystems through Nature Matters framework of GEM. Grow by learning about animals with super senses, like you mentioned, so that they can see that they have superpowers as well. You know, maybe their sight isn't as great, so what other tools could they use to enhance that experience in nature as well? Sorry, these little yellow bugs are, I'm sure, in your guys' mouths too. So E for engage your own senses in nature and make connections between those animal adaptations and how we experience, as humans experience the world. So it is more than just an accessible path. It's a path where people with disabilities can feel truly welcomed into natural spaces, and that's why it matters, because nature was meant for everybody. So thank you, Jenny, for sending those words. I wish that they could be here for the opening. They had a huge, huge part in creating, you know, the very scientific part of that as well. So on this, everyone's voice has been heard. They're improving the space, not only with the trail itself, but creating more backyard refuges. So bringing in some of that green stormwater infrastructure is bringing in better habitat. Creating a path that looks more natural, not something that is just, you know, concrete and basic. Letting kids really just explore their own senses and come up with their own way of seeing the world. So while you tour the trail, you're going to see a lot of reduction in the non-native plants. I didn't want to miss this one because a lot of these players were not, you know, super highlighted, recognized. Jim out here cutting trails, removing non-native species constantly, as well as Cameron Weber and the Rio Grande Return team. Oof. So that basin out here that has the water, the plants, that is to capture the water, get it filtered before it hits this creek. So really paying attention to what's going along here. Annie Montes, yep, led that up with CIUDAD as well. And you're going to see loads of native plants along the way with Annie, Cameron, YCC crews, everybody that put their heart into that as well. At the vision stations, you're going to see some beautiful work from community members. At the vision station, you're going to see a couple of really cool steel designs, signage there from Damian Velasquez, and also some really detailed carpentry on the tactile sensory tables crafted by Rangewood Reclaimers. He's hiding out back there. Kind of a jack of all trades, put a lot of work into it. So it couldn't be possible. You mentioned a lot of the partners, and I appreciate that, but the community, the volunteers, we just brought everybody in. It wasn't a big box type of a project. So we sincerely thank CIUDAD, Soil and Water Conservation District, City of Albuquerque Open Space Division, Nature Matters, Heroes Path, Planned Collaborative. My goodness, this design came out so great. With that, Reineke Construction did an amazing job putting that together. New Mexico School of the Blind and Visually Impaired, they went, and you're going to notice Braille. So some of the materials there, it's all written in Braille, translated in Braille on the signage, and they donated their time translating that for us. So huge thank you to them as well. Awesome. Haley McCall, ARI Graphics, putting those signage together. April Fox did all of that legwork for that signage as well. And of course, the Outdoor Recreation Division for making this vision into a reality. Carl, we look forward, did you already? Okay. We look forward to more expanding projects on this. So we appreciate your patience. We hope you enjoy how it all came together. And I'm glad you can come check it out. So here we are, we're thrilled. We're crossing that finish line. But now as we celebrate, we won't look back and remember all the roadblocks that we ran into, or even the 100-year flood. But, you know, that's probably going to stick in our memory a little bit longer. That almost derailed the whole project. But we're going to visit open space now and see, as a community, we've created a space to share where we've now removed barriers where they once were for the families like you that we serve. Every single person who worked together on this trail is now an advocate, and happy Pride right now, Disabilities Pride Month. Everybody that touched this project is now advocating for these children. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Teresa. And now to wrap us up, no stranger to awesome open space projects and opening more new parks in the city than I think we've ever seen, our Parks and Rec Director, Dave Simon.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Leadership from Mayor Keller, the support of the City Council, our state legislature, so many other elected officials, and all of you really is what has made so many great things happen over the past few years. Really, things are changing, physically changing the landscape of our city, but making investments that are going to benefit present and future generations for years and years to come. That's what investing in parks, recreation, open space is like. And thank you, Mayor Keller, for being such a strong advocate and leading us toward those great things. Thank you. So many of you know this property has a long and colorful history. I won't go back the entire way to the railroads and to people who lived here for thousands of years, time immemorial. People have been living up and down the Tijeras Creek. But you know, in the modern era, this property's had some different owners and uses. It's been a feed store. It's been a honky tonk. Most recently, it was a church. And right now, I think we are celebrating another great step, another great milestone, you know, kind of on a long journey, a long trail toward this entire 25-acre property becoming an even bigger church of the outdoors for everybody, and an open space area that celebrates and demonstrates conservation, recreation, and education in a way that sets a high standard that we can be proud of here in Albuquerque and the entire state. Now, many of you, in fact, most of you here today, have had some hand or role in making this possible, in being on this journey with us to where this Tijeras Biozone project and this Tijeras Education Center project is going. I want to again thank all of you for that. You know, in addition to everyone who's been recognized already, a few other groups have dug in with sweat equity here as well. So we've had the Volunteers for the Outdoors out here, Rocky Mountain Youth Corps, and the Youth Conservation Corps. They've been out here. 505 Cycling Group has put in some work days here. And of course, I want to recognize our Open Space Advisory Board for their participation, leadership. They're represented here today, as well as our Metropolitan Park and Recreation Advisory Board, also represented here today. And a big shout out to the open space staff, Colleen Langan McRoberts, and the open space staff. Most of them kind of look like this. They've been working diligently out here in the Tijeras Arroyo, and particularly on this property, do a tremendous amount of cleanup, restoration, recovery that is going to kind of lay the groundwork for all the great other steps and phases are going to happen out here over the next year to year and a half. So let's give a big round of applause for all those other partners and our staff. The tremendous support from the Outdoor Recreation Division, whose director is here today, Karina Armijo. Thank you so much for the work the state is doing. You know, this was about a $500,000 grant that was matched in kind by the city and CIUDAD to put together what is now it's special. It's a special trail, as the mayor was outlining and Teresa was outlining, but it's a unique trail. There is nothing like this trail anywhere in the state at this level of accessibility for all. So it's a tremendous point of pride, I think, for our city and our state to be investing in things like this. As I've said, this is one step on a longer journey that involves developing the Tijeras Arroyo Cultural Corridor. You can see one of these signs right here at the trailhead is one of 6. This is one of 6 locations along the Cultural Corridor that has a thematically consistent set of educational signage. And of course, this site itself, we are finishing a site concept plan for the entire 25 acres here, which will include just some phenomenal other new features, including a little rejuvenation and rehab on this building, some other interpretive group and community gathering spots. We have some really exciting ideas for education and kids-oriented outdoor environmentally education-oriented play here. And we're really excited to be finishing that site concept plan. It has to go through the Environmental Planning Commission at the city first before we can begin fully implementing that plan. But we're expecting that all to pick up speed this fall. And with the support of Mayor Keller again, the legislature, and Councilor Grout, we have a nice little pot of gold here that we're looking forward to making further investments in this site to make it come alive even more for our entire community. Right now, this 25-acre property, which includes the ADA Century Trail, you know, that is now part of about 800 acres that the City Open Space Division is now owns and manages along the Tijeras Arroyo biozone. So we are stringing together a wonderfully significant, biologically important, and recreationally and educationally vital resource for the entire metro area. As the mayor said, this property is now going to be open 7 days a week, 8 till 2, so please come out and enjoy it. You know, I think that it's a short trail, but it can be a longer experience on this trail depending on how you want to engage with it. And let me just say, you know, the timing of opening this trail couldn't be better. We are not going to put a large neon sign out in front of this property, but this is now going to be a phenomenal new attraction on Route 66, the Mother Road. And as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Route 66, we are now adding to that legacy with a phenomenal new spot to stay, learn, and experience our community right here on Route 66. So come on out, tell your friends. And I will say also, we'd like to say dogs are welcome here as long as they're on a leash. So let me introduce you to Otis, the official mascot of the Outdoor Recreation Division. Otis is numero uno, 4-footed visitor here to the Century Trail. Thank you, Otis. I just, in conclusion, want to say, you know, grow, engage, make connections here in the Tijeras Arroyo Education Center. Find your jewels, find your gems. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks to all of our partners again. The last thing I want to say is if you want to get a little bit deeper, right after we're finished here, there's going to be 2 tours that we'd love you to join. One will be on the Century Trail itself, and the second will be a tour that goes out along the larger trail system, which starts right here and will lead you to phenomenal things. So thank you all very much for coming. Enjoy this gem. Are there any questions? Yeah, if there are any questions, we'll be happy to take those right afterward through one-on-ones that Emily can set up for you. Thank you all very much.